Chapter 44 Berserker Controllee Psychometry. Narrator. With ESP matching all boxed punches, with blinks, tinkles, and cryogenic bestiaries box landed blows with her physical hands, thus foresaw each of her opponent's next area and degree of a 360-degree rotation around her to be thrown in their punches. With this known, Berserker Controllee Psychometry next was for telekinesis to physically touch an inanimate object of her enemy in order to discover personal events or facts about that person. So with ease, ESP touched Blink's wooden upside-down cross hanging on her neck as a necklace. So Psychometry's full potential as a Berserker Controllee ensued, for now inside Blink's psyche played and rewound and repeated itself of her most personal life lived in servant to Zaya. The memory was of her and her brother Tackle living as slaves, mining 4K Jack and Rock. So Blink was stopped in her battle dance, only to begin crying an agony of pain, now locked in an insane psychosis state of mind frame. Psychometry's next pawn was once again to be named Tinkle. ESP touched Tinkle's blonde hair, and instead of using a memory of pain, Psychometry used Tinkle's most happiest in her life memory. So now stopped in her stance, no longer on a battle dance, Tinkle laughed, giggled, and talked of her best of days alongside her brother Cygnus, father Max II, and mother Potion. Thus Tinkle's insane psychosis state of mind frame thus was, since cryogenic be that of one of the 5 righteous warriors of Gia, be he a forefather in name, was cryogenic. Telekinesis had no inanimate object to be used against Polar Bear Claw. So now, with the usage of mental movement and precognition, did ESP succeed in taking down cryogenic bestiary in his own crater in 4K's physical diamond crust. So using precognition of forcing Polar Bear Claw's next punch to flurry, easily boxed the forefather to his crater, and using mental movement plummeted 4K Leo Beast Soul's concrete debris and buildings on him. ESP was only successful due fact for first her attack was in her attack was Psychometry, used to its fullest potential against Blink and Tinkle, thus left only one opponent, being in name medicinal aid of all sages. Herbal remedy. Elixir second time, seal release, and activate your alternate dimensional living type plane, livable oasis. Narrator. She then used Elixir a second time on cryogenic, healing and sucking him inside her livable oasis. Now seeing Blink and Tinkle succumb to an insane psychosis state of mind frame, had no choice but to use her rank 3 ability technique known as Mental Psyche Elevation. What does Mental Psyche Elevation do as functionality to technique, you all may wonder? Similar to Viper's Light's 8 Freedom, Mental Psyche Elevation released Blink and Tinkle from their own personal insane psychosis state of mind frame. Only till the 2 teenagers became back into reality was the second remedy physically touched Blink and Tinkle within 1 second via Elixir a second time. Herbal, of course, knew the 2 will need a few moments to knock back into their own stable minds. Thus she healed them physically and transported them to livable oasis. ESP. You sure about that herbal remedy? Narrator. Now I'll use my reverse Elixir a second time. Come back into our livable physical plane of 4K Jack and Rock from our alternate dimensional plane known as livable oasis. Showcase your forefather capabilities to us 4 bitches. He in name cryogenic Polar Bear Claw bestiary form. Might I add to a 100% healing and aura did he receive. Cryogenic. Here I go. My 0 hands 360-degree onslaught. Narrator. Similar to Blink Force 0 hands 360-degree onslaught was he in battle dance step. After a few seconds, one was released. Remedy. Come back into our livable physical plane of 4K Jack and Rock from my alternate dimensional plane world known as livable oasis. Now showcase your capabilities to us, Blink. Narrator. After a few seconds. Remedy. Now unto you the same I say to Tinkle. Hey, time are present. Your time used alongside my 4K rockabye is the only way. Time are present. Now time repeat. Narrator. The only reason time repeat was a success was because of the distraction of hands being thrown at ESP that her precognition did not foresee, an adversary whom got left out for a while. Herbal. Good time. Time are present. Now with telekinesis, ESP stuck in a played rewound and repeats herself every 33 seconds, I now will be able to cast ESP away physically inside my alternate living dimensional world called No Place Like Oasis via my usage of 4K rockabye. Narrator. Thus the battle of the Bitches in Time climax alongside Ripped in Space and Time itself. Zaya, seeing this personally, still kept his word as a spectator only, took his leave. The second wave commences on the next installment of Chapters to Gia.